I'm going to play another game of rapid chess. Right, 1945, good luck. So this is 10 minutes each, there's no increment. 400 games nearly for my opponents, about 100 more than I've done. I'm just coming up to 300. Okay, that's an invitation basically to switch to a Sicilian. So I'm just going to try and get castled, then worry about what to do. Okay, he's gone e6, so I'm going to go g3 just to break it up so it's not complete symmetry. He'll probably play d5 and we'll take and I'll go d4 at some point. Okay, so we get castled. He has indeed, so I'm going to take. I could do e3, but it does allow the early d4, so I'm going to push. I'm going to see if I can try and isolate this pawn. Might not be able to, but let's just see. Chooses to push forward, okay. I could do an early move here while he doesn't have b5, couldn't I? So here, the knight can come under attack, so is that a problem? Here, say bishop down. Yeah, I think I need my bishop up first. I'm going to develop first, just so if I play this bishop down, I've got to move like knight up with some sort of threat. I mean, obviously I could defend the knight, but yeah, that's what he's done. He's gone there to do this, so I'm going here to try and challenge this, and then I want to do this, so do I do it now? If I don't do it now, I'm not going to get another chance, so I'm going to risk it. It might be a blunder, this. You know, my knight is now not defended. Maybe I've got queen up. Maybe I might drop the bishop back, I'm not sure. Again, just click anywhere on the board, it clears your markings. So he has indeed challenged the knight. So I'm assuming I want queen up. Now bishop down, if I take, you take. I need to move my rook somewhere. But it feels alright, so queen there seems like a move. Queen here, you can temporarily at least take. This could be a problem. I think I need to go here. Is it bishop down? Might be a move you might consider. Just to trade bishop for knight with a tempo on the rook. Across, if he takes, I take, he pushes. I think I'm in time to stop. So he's played down, so here I want to push this pawn up, but my bishop might get trapped. So that's a bit of a risk as well, isn't it? That's a real risk. Knight forward, I lose this pawn. So what about take? I'm going to take the pawn while I can. He might trade and grab this pawn, he might do. Then maybe we can drop the bishop back and try and trap the rook or something. But yeah, if my bishop was here, I'd have played e3. Then the bishop can definitely be traded and not trapped. So he might actually go for this. So takes. Now, do I try and grab a pawn here? That allows knight here. So I'm looking at the bishop back. I don't see anything better, so I'm going to drop back. I doubt I'm going to trap the rook, but might as well try. Here, I think I can just simply take. Two will attack, two will defend. If he doesn't take, I can potentially push on, I guess. Could be interesting. Yeah, so he's gone bishop there. So I'm looking at a move like rook across to stop him playing rook over. A threat of bishop there to trap as well. Obviously, I'm really trying to stop rook here, otherwise he collects a free pawn, but it does create a threat at the same time with bishop down. And the rook's suddenly short of squares. Okay, knight down, that's a potentially interesting move. So here. Oh, I don't mean that in a way about all this goings on with cheating or anything. I just mean an actual interesting move. Here, if you take, I just simply take back. So bishop down is my first move. If you take my bishop, I take your rook. And then I don't see a good follow-up. So that feels good to me. So bishop back. I don't see where the rook runs off to. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to try and win an exchange. Yeah, when I said interesting, I meant interesting, or as in an interesting move or a tricky move. Something which could cause a lot of havoc on the board, potentially. Everything could really explode open here. If he takes here, I'm going to have to take with the pawn. Then this suddenly defensive structure doesn't look quite so potentially good. But it is still an exchange at the end of the day. Obviously, I mustn't pre-move there because he could take with the knight, and I'd want to take the rook if he does. So he has taken, so I'm going to take. Now if he takes here, I think I'm okay to take with the bishop, but in principle I'd rather have the bishop on g2. More defending the king rather than trying to do anything else. And I think I probably need that. Then I've got to move like knight across to potentially trade the bishop. So I'm going to go there. So knight to one of these is likely to be my next move. I'm not sure yet. But if the queen can rapidly develop, then there's threats here, so it might be what he's aiming for. So do I try and take this pawn? No, that opens this up. So I think I need rook across. Just to double guard the pawn in case I get deflected here. Maybe he can do that anyway. Maybe he can. Trade, knight takes. So maybe he can just grab a pawn here, or at least temporarily. Knight back might be a move. Knight across might be a move. But I think that's what he'll be looking at. Oh, he's played just a move to give his king a square for later in the game. So it suggests he wants to get the rook active. But I think I need a move like knight across here to try and trade this bishop. Otherwise it's very dangerous and very annoying there. But he might want to drop back this way, in which case my knight could get a little bit stuck where it is. But if he does drop back, maybe I can just safely grab the pawn. Oh, it is rapid this. I don't need to pre-move, do I? But I'm pretty sure I'll take back with the knight and guard my pawn. Okay, well now can't I just take? Okay, I'm going to take and try and bring the knight back and guard my pawn here. I assume he'll go with the queen just to keep pressure on the pawn. He has. So my knight is not doing much where it is. Is there anything better? I don't actually see it. Maybe now's the time to take this pawn. I'm going to do it actually. Take that pawn and hope I'm not blundering something here. Knight back. He might just have a very simple move like queen down. And my knight right now covers them both. Yeah, not that easy, is it? Not that easy. So rook across here allows queen here. So he plays rook across here, queen down. There's suddenly... Actually, rook across, if I move the knight, he can just crash through and take the pawns. That's a bit of a problem as well. I can't easily challenge this. Queen back, threatening the pawn with a view to coming over. But if the queen leaves this file, this pawn is loose. That's why I wanted the knight back here. I might need the knight back, but then he's got queen down. What on earth do we do? Rook across. I guess he'd have to take with the queen, or can he? I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop back. There's a lot of pressure potentially coming. I might need to play h4 and allow g5. A lot of pressure coming here. This is a difficult position. Queen in. If I go here, my knight does actually guard the pawn as well as the rook covering this threat. So it's more likely to play a move like rook across, I would think now. And I'll have to play h4. If he plays g5, do I have something like knight f4 trapping the rook? So he's played there. So can I do this now? If he takes, I think I just take back. That's still double covered, so I think I can. If the rook comes off, that should be very good for me, as far as I can assess. So he's played knight back, offering a trade. So if I take here, check, king up, there's nothing particularly there for me. So here, he's then got 3 attacking here. So say rook across, one of the knights takes. Do I have queen check then? Knight takes, he's okay. Rook up might be a strong move here actually to take. I don't have knight takes. I can't check now because he's covered it. I'm burning too much time. Rook up takes, I guess I'll go with the G pawn. He's still got knight in anyway, hasn't he? I'm going to take and maybe rook across. Feels like I'm a bit passive. If I come rook right across, either knight can take the pawn. Now if he comes in, I think I get the tempo of going across to chase the queen, and the queen can't take. So queen and rook across. If he comes back, then I've got check and collect the knight, I think. But not easy, not easy. Black's the one with kind of like the more forward placement of the pieces. So I'm in a more defensive position. So knight takes now. I think I just take with the knight, as long as I don't blunder some sort of checkmate threat, which is very, very easily done. Knight takes, I think I'm okay to take here. Actually, I suppose if either knight takes, I could simply take with the rook. And if he takes with the other one, I can take with a queen, and I don't think there's a repetition there, so I don't think you can take in this move. Queen, and I think allows rook across with the check threat. You only have to miss one move and that's the whole game gone. Get the cursor off the board so there are no accidental slips. Yeah, he's launched forward, so he doesn't see the immediate knockout. But again, check right now doesn't create the threat. I can't really push this pawn. What about check, king up, rook across? He'll really have to move this, but I think he's just fine doing that, isn't he? Knight takes. If I don't take, there's a checkmate threat. What on earth do I do here? I'm kind of stuck. I'm kind of in zugzwang a bit, aren't I? If he pushes here, I guess I can take. I'm burning too much time. I'm playing a move just to not burn the clock. If he pushes, I think I have to take. I don't think I could take with the knight there, because he's wanting to deflect it to crash through. But if a knight takes here and I don't take back, then there's a queen takes knight checkmate threat. But can he get his queen on this diagonal somewhere to threaten? Can I push up now and kick this knight? If I kick the knight away, I can activate the rook or the queen potentially. So h3 is a candidate move now. Then potentially rook to f1. Again, cursor off the board. We're down to blitz time now, 3 minutes left each. It's amazing where the time goes in rapid chess though. Right, he's dropped the knight back, so that means I can activate the rook potentially. So I like rook f1 threatening rook f4, and I like h3 to immediately kick the knight out. But I like rook f1 here, trying to activate the rook while his knight's come back. I don't quite see what the knight's achieving here, unless he's going to move the queen. So I'm going to do it, threatening rook f4. I mean, he can still drop back and guard the knight, but it's chasing his pieces away a little bit. Maybe h3 might be a better move, might be my next move, depends what my opponent does. I've got no queen check now, of course, that might be why he went back there. He might want to get the knight where the queen is and, as they found a safe square for the queen. And again, I guess rook up might allow a queen check, so I've got to be a little bit careful. The king can't actually escape. I guess right now I could block. But we have got a minute on the clock, so we need to slow down and use our time. Okay, and he's allowed the rook up. Oh, if only my queen was on a square where I could pin. Actually, I could release the queen, couldn't I? Because he's only got 2 attacking. So queen here is a move to threaten to pin his queen. That's a bit of a serious threat, actually. Just a simple queen across. If we pin the queen, it should be a simple conversion. I could do this to kick the knight as well. Rook up, check, the queen can block. Then he might have to trade the queen that way as well. So rook up, if he goes here, I don't think I'm gaining anything. So I'm going here to try and play queen b1 just to create the pin. If I get the queen off, it's much easier to play. It doesn't mean I can't lose the game, but it should be much easier to play with less risk to the king, and he's allowed it. So now my king's got a lot less risk there when the queen comes off. I say it doesn't mean I can't lose the game, but a lot less risk of blundering a silly checkmate now. Okay, so king up. I've actually got a knight check and I can develop my knight maybe. Where does he go? I'm going to check first there, take next move and then try and activate the rook. Oh, actually I've weakened my defense of my pawn. Why did I do that? I'll have to spend a move coming back. I need my knight there to guard my pawn, I forgot that. So if I trade now, he'll have a knight here, but he'll be attacking my pawn as well. But I do have this pawn that can rapidly run up the board. Yeah, but I should have left the knight there, just taken and then rook across. So he has gone back. So I'm going to come back. I can still take next move. I've just reset the position. So I can trade next move, then rook b1 to pressure the pawn. That was my intention. So pressure on the pawn, and now I can start activating, hopefully kick the knight and then get my knight forward. No, let's not go there, let's come forward here. There we go, I don't care about this, I'm just trying to create counterplay. Oh, he's traded anywhere. Okay, now I can hit the pawn and potentially hit this pawn. Okay, surely I just take. Knight forward. Challenge that knight. Knight down is not a check, so it doesn't win the rook. There is a check there, but I can't really stop that, so I'm going to go right up to potentially come behind. Check. Go next to the knight, so there's no check next move. We can collect and try and queen. We can maybe throw a check in here and stop the king coming forward. So he'll have to spend a move going back. Now I'll collect. Come back, cover the check and run the pawn. It feels like I played a pretty decent endgame here from a tricky position. And we get the win, excellent.